Hey Queens, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time here. My name is Krystlelaughter, international selling author, certified life coach, women's empowerment speaker, and creator of Krystlelaughter Academy. Today I want to do just a makeup chat and just tell you about a little bit about myself and where I was last year. So I'm going to do my makeup. I got some foundation right here, and I'm gonna talk. Let's talk. Sit down, grab a cup of coffee. You and your girl, we're just chilling, just me and you. Let's talk. As you guys know, I'm a mom of 7. My youngest son, Seth, we call him Noah. His middle name, Seth Noah Parker. He is gonna be 7 months at the end of this month. But last year, I was in a really bad place. I was in a really dark place. And I'm not gonna be looking at you because I'm trying to look at my makeup. But and I was pregnant with him. And so let's go a little bit further back. So before I got pregnant with him, so let's say about October. So I was separated from my husband. Very toxic relationship, very unhealthy. I was gonna say narcissistic. I know that's like a buzzword nowadays, but if you've experienced it, you know. If you're dealing with a narcissistic person, so it was extremely toxic. I had 6 children. I was just feeling very alone, and we were separated at the time because he had tried to assault me back in July, and so I was like, no, that's it. Okay, that's it. So he had left. I had kicked him out. And I was, trying to figure out this thing by myself as a single mom. And it was hard, and I was alone. And I didn't have help, and I wasn't getting help from my family. I wasn't getting help from anywhere. And so it kind of happened that, I felt like I needed help. I felt like that he was the only option. Hold on, sweetheart. In a second, I'm just gonna finish your makeup, then we'll get some breakfast. Okay? Go back over there because I'm recording. Okay? Go back over there. And so if you wind up, you came back in, to help with the kids and stuff like that, not to stay, but just to come back, when he wasn't working. And I hated it. I hated the fact that I had to depend on him. I hated the fact that I didn't have any help. And I don't know if you've ever been in a place where you felt like you had to depend on people who you didn't trust or who were even unsafe because you felt like you didn't have any other option. But man, that is not a fun place to be in, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And so I let him in. He never was a husband. He was never faithful. He was never, supportive emotionally, really. With his mouth he would be, but he was always, talking to other people behind my back, calling me crazy. And I didn't realize that's the end of our relationship. And it's sad. It's a really sad whole situation, but you know what? It ain't sad, and I ain't sorry. And so he came back in pretending to be the husband that I wanted him to be, helpful, helping up around the house, buying stuff, taking care of the family, which he should have been doing all along. Most of our marriage, he did not work due to mental health issues, and not to say that he didn't have any, but he could have worked. And so for the first time really in our life, he was really, working and taking care of us. And I was like, oh, he's finally trying to be the man he's supposed to be, and so stuff happened, you know what I mean, what I'm saying. And then I found out I was pregnant, but really quickly it was shown that he ain't changed. He's pretty much the same person. He's still got an attitude, bad attitude, very selfish, very manipulative, not a good dad, and just not the person who he pretends to be when he wants to get what he wants. And so I found myself, being alone and with 6 kids and being pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm really pregnant with my 7th child. Hold on. And I was devastated and, didn't protect myself. So ladies, protect yourself. Because one thing I have learned is that a man will get you pregnant, especially a toxic man, to try to keep you stuck. You might have experienced this. Maybe you haven't, but it's something that's real. You guys, I'm recording, so I need you guys to be quiet. And so you really have to protect yourself and use wisdom and not be like, oh, well, it's just one time. One time could change your life, okay? One time could change your life. So be careful out here. If people love you, they'll love you and you'll know they love you. They won't just have to say they love you. They won't have to convince you they love you, because their actions will convince you of real love. So just take that tip with you. But yeah, I was in a real dark place, and I was like, what am I going to do? I already got 6 kids. I'm barely, I feel like I'm just hanging on. I've never had to do this before by myself. I can't do this. And so I went through like a really dark place for a while. I felt really, really depressed. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna be honest, real 100% honest. What if I give him up for adoption? He would have a better place. He'd be better off with other people who could take care of him, because I can't do it. And just all these crazy thoughts I would never think of, and I would probably never really do. But it just gave me a sense of relief just to think about it for a second. Just maybe he'll be better off with somebody else. Maybe maybe this, maybe that, and and I struggled really bad. And I knew that I had to find something to hold on to. I had to find the light, and I had to hold on to something, because I was in such a bad place. I was so overwhelmed. I was going through the pregnancy emotions, the hormones, being tired, dealing with the kids, being the only one doing everything for the kids, everything. I would call him and he would answer. I'd call him and say, I feel like I need help. I feel like I'm going to go crazy. I don't know what to do. And he wouldn't answer the phone. And he'd say he would come and he wouldn't come. So it's real out here, y'all, who you guys are with. If you don't have kids with someone yet, and they're toxic, please leave them. It's not going to get better. They're not going to be the person that you want them to be, and the person that you think they are is not even who they are. What I realized is that I fell in love with the person that I knew he could be, but he chose to not be that person, and I blamed myself for years, thinking, oh, it's if I could just be a better wife, if I could just be a better mom, I could show him, I could make him love and want this good thing, I knew I was a good woman. I know I'm a good woman. What's wrong? Instead of looking and saying, there's something wrong with him, I pointed the finger at myself. And I was like, okay, there's something wrong with you. And, I did that, I realize now, because I've always been the kind of fix-it person. And I'm like, okay, I can't fix you, but I can fix me. So if I fix me and I do everything right, then you have to, come along and be what you're supposed to be. But you guys, the only thing that can make someone change, the only thing, listen good, listen here to me. The only thing that can make someone change is of wanting to change. Not your threats, not their children, not you. Honestly, some people, they don't even love themselves, but you want them to love you, and then you expect them to love their children, but they don't even love themselves. And no, this ain't an excuse for them. Hold on a second. But the Bible tells us to love each other as we love ourselves. And if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else properly. It'll be a selfish, self-centered love. You know what I mean? And that's what situation. But it was beyond narcissistic and beyond just selfish with him. It was just really, really, really bad. But anyway, so I found myself in that dark space, and I know I needed to hold on to some source of light. So I decided to start writing again, because I've always loved to write poetry, music, and I had already written 2 books. A devotional book, and then a children's book for my nephew who passed away a couple years before, called What I Think of You, and the devotional was You're a Diamond. And so I started writing Love Yourself First, which is this book. It's now a series. Can you believe that, y'all? I was not 7 months, I was pregnant at let me slow down because I talk too fast sometimes. So I was pregnant with my 7th child. I had 6 kids, taking care of them all by myself, doing everything, taking them to school, being a mom, bossing up because he wouldn't do what he was supposed to do. And I started writing, and I would put the kids to bed, and every night I'd get on my laptop and I'd start writing. And I put on all this knowledge, and I said, God, if I can save one woman from going through what I'm going through right now, then it's enough. And so I poured my heart and my soul in that book, Love Yourself First, How to Heal from Toxic People, Create Healthy Relationships, and Become a Confident Woman. And I wrote, and for the next 2 months while the kids were sleeping, every night I'd stay up sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning. I wrote that book. And it was really like the thing that kind of, saved me, that gave me hope, and like something to focus on. So if you're in a toxic place, in a toxic relationship, or in a dark place, find a light to hold on to, something that you can put your focus and energy in that takes you away from that dark space, so it doesn't consume you. Because I promise you, that you have to find some hope. You have to take care of your children, or take care of yourself, and you need to find something to hold on to. So don't let it consume you. But just fast forward, I let him come back because I was pregnant and dealing with all that, and I felt like I really needed help. I let him come back, during the pandemic, and feeling sorry for him, yada yada yada. And her relationship was me feeling sorry for him, really, and that's not the way to build any relationship. So don't be in a relationship with someone because you feel sorry for them. If you're not attracted to them, if you don't vibe, if you're not on the same level mentally, emotionally, don't do it. I did it. It's not worth it. And so, I was like, okay, let me give him another chance. And not in my mind, I was like, no, this is it, but let me just see how's it going. Maybe he'll finally get it together, knowing that I'm going to, sorry, there's something in my eye. Knowing that after this baby, I told him, this is over. You're going to leave, and I'm getting divorced. And we had already been we weren't legally separated yet. But I was in the process of going through the divorce with all the paperwork and stuff. And I got to slow myself down because I talk way too fast. So, nothing changed. He isolated himself. He would never spend time with the family. He was never mentally, emotionally supportive. Very toxic and controlling with the children, with me. Just negative, bad attitude, just not healthy mentally, emotionally. He wouldn't take care of himself, like literally would not take care of himself. And it was sad because I'm like, I take care of myself and you look like, anyway, that's a whole nother story. But I had the baby, wind up having a C-section. Crazy. I'm gonna have to do a video on that because all my other children, all 6, all natural. This C-section, I'm like, oh wow, this is different. As you can imagine, the recovery was horrible, painful. But again, it wasn't really supportive. I had to tell him to do everything, treat him like a baby. Can you please make me some food? I can't bend down. Just stuff that like you shouldn't have to turn a grown man. And my husband, I'm gonna say ex-husband, because I don't claim he's my husband. Because no, you can't meet my husband. You're my husband. No. You wouldn't have to tell him, a grown man, to do. My husband is 18 years older than me, which is really sad. And really to say, it's just like, wow. And he's been like that our whole marriage, like very immature. Like I was dating, like I feel like I'm 18 years older than him, honestly, mentally, emotionally, every other way. But yeah, just like that. And he would, and I'm sure it was purposefully because there's nothing wrong with him. Because he can remember everything that he wanted to do, but he would forget my birthdays. Every holiday, I think one Christmas, and we were together for 8 years, he got me something. Yeah. And birthdays, same thing. Anniversaries, if I didn't plan it, didn't happen. It's just very negative. So you can imagine how that would beat you down over years. Knowing that you're a good woman, knowing that you're doing the best you can, and that someone just chooses not to value you, chooses not to see your worth, chooses not to, see you as the prize that you are and the blessing that you are, and treat you like a curse. But what I realize is that people will treat you based on how they feel about themselves. So it's not you, sis. It's not you, queen. It's them. And you really have to put them in their place, which is far from you, because they'll destroy your whole life. So don't let a toxic person destroy your life. Fast forward, I had the baby July 30th, 2020. I didn't kick him out until the end of November. And I said that I knew the new year was coming. And after, Thanksgiving had come. Of course, he never helped with Thanksgiving, never offered to lift a finger. I like, hey, what are we cooking? Can you help this year? Or maybe you take it over this year. Yeah, I'll help. And of course, always this and never no action. But as I sat there, after I made this big, beautiful Thanksgiving dinner, this Negro, excuse my language, but if you a person of color, you understand. Like we're not racist against ourselves, but like sometimes we just use that word just to emphasize the ridiculousness of it. These Negro, let me just say, this man. As I seen him eating this delicious dinner that I had slaved for, just had a baby not too long ago, had a cesarean section, still recovering, still in pain, eat my food, not lift a finger to help nothing, just sit there fat as a cat. I said, you is not going with me into this new year. I think a few days later I said, you got to go. And every other time before that had been like, okay, it had been like a blow up kind of argument. And then it was like my emotions, okay, you got to go. But this time was the first time I was clear and I said, you got to go. Not because I feel this way, not because I'm all riled up, because I know you are no good for me. And if I keep on letting you treat me this way, it will never change. And I'm going to be teaching my children that it's okay. I'm going to be teaching you that this is what I deserve. And no, I don't. And I knew I never deserved it, but I didn't have the courage to leave. But this man, he had left us, literally left us, abandoned us, walked off because he was mad, didn't see him for 4 days, walked off when his mom was dying in the hospital, literally dying in the hospital. Left for, I think that was time, left 4 days, didn't know where he was. Doctors calling me, trying to figure out all this stuff with his mom because she's about to pass away. Man, crazy. Just not a good person. But he was supposed to be a Christian, But the Bible says you will know them by their fruit. Don't let people deceive you with their words. When a relationship is meant for you, you'll have peace. You'll be better because of it. They'll improve your life, not make it worse. Yeah, he was not no Christian. He ain't no Christian. He think he is. People like to believe in their mind who they are. But no, he wasn't. But anyway, so I told him to leave. He left. And, and I know that's not the end because we have kids together, but it's the end of this relationship. And so I have done everything to block him as far as I can. But, as far as us, there's no us. There's no talking about us. There's no reminiscing. None of that. Strictly kids, period. That's it. But I really just stress and tell you my story because it could be something that I could be ashamed of, that I hide from, and then I'm like, oh, people gonna say you stupid, you dumb, you should have known better. Da, 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 da. Yeah, some people might say that. Some people might think that, even though I was the abuse victim, we were the victims, me and my children. Of course, I know he's out there lying, spreading lies, and trying to say, but the truth will be revealed, okay? And so I know the truth. Most people know the truth, But those who don't, I'm not bothered by that. I'm not going to let that keep me bound. But I tell you guys my story to let you know that this is who you are. To let you know that this is your real value. It doesn't matter if people take off your crown and throw it in the mud. It doesn't matter if people spit on it. And people say you ain't nothing. You ain't ever going to be nothing. Or you had these many kids, you ain't nothing. You never been married, you're going to be nothing. Or you don't have any kids, you're not going to be nothing. People will tell you your value if you let them. But I'm here to tell you that you are the one. You and God are the one who determines your value. And if you said, I'm worth more than this, I will not accept less, then that's what you will have. Stop accepting these no good, barely getting by relationships. Stop accepting these no good, ain't worth nothing men. Okay? You a queen and you over here taking a peasant because you think nobody's going to love you. You think nobody's going to want you. Stop it. You are a queen. You are beautiful. You are loved. Don't let somebody treat you like trash. Okay? Queen up. If you don't know your worth, get my book, Love Yourself First, the workbook, the affirmation journal, and read it every day. Speak to yourself in the mirror every day and tell yourself that you're a queen. Tell yourself that you're blessed. Tell yourself that life is going to be better. Tell yourself that you can do it. And take every lying, toxic, negative thought and throw it on the ground. And don't pick it back up again. And every time you question your worth, look in the mirror and say, I'm a queen. I'm beautiful. I am loved. God loves me. He created me. God has somebody who's going to love me and appreciate me for who I am. Okay, Queen? I know this video was long, but you need this. Okay? You needed it. And I needed to share it, because sharing our stories is a part of healing. And I'm all, I told you I'm a coach, and I just got off a call yesterday with a lady, just hearing her story and the things that we go through, because we don't want our children not to have a father, just because we don't want to, say that, we failed, or because we invested so much time. No, stop. You're worth so much more, Queen. And I gotta go because I gotta get my kids ready for school. But I love you. You're beautiful. I'm sorry if you're going through a tough situation, but I promise it gets better. It gets better, but you have to know your worth. It starts there, honey. So I do one-on-one coaching calls too through krystlelaughter.com. I got my online academy, Crystal Laughter Academy. You can sign up for free for my online coaching program, Self-Love 101. Go ahead and do that and love yourself first. Learn how to love yourself first. I'm going to be coming out with Love Yourself Again this year sometime. I don't know when I get a chance to write that book. But one of the things I was going to say in it is that if you don't learn how to love yourself again, you'll give someone your treasure, and in return, they'll give you their trash. So, listen, that's real. You'll give someone your treasure, and they will give you their trash. And they will call it an equal exchange, because they don't know their worth, and they won't know how to love you. So when you give them love, all they'll give you is garbage. Don't let that happen to you, sis. I love you guys. Love yourself again. Love yourself again. Love yourself again. Love yourself again. Till next time, Queens. Go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and share it for another woman who needs it. Till next time.